Good morning, everybody. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people. Today is November 2nd, 2021, and I want to share a couple pieces of encouraging news with everybody, looking at the possibility that today could be the day of our redemption. Today is the 27th day of Chesvan on the Hebrew calendar, and it was on this day, Chesvan 27, in 2104 BCE, as the floodwaters finally subsided, Noah, his family, and the animals left the ark. On this day, God commanded them to repopulate and resettle the earth. Okay, so this was the end of the flood. As in the days of Noah, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. This is an interesting detail. We are right here today on the Hebrew calendar, November 2nd. A couple very interesting details that connect us with November 2nd also that I think you will find amazing and encouraging. Let's take a look at a couple more pieces of information. Remember this very important detail. The Balfour Declaration, which began the end time clock of Israel. Remember, this was signed on Chesvan 17, November 2nd. Well, now in 2021, November 2nd is actually Chesvan 27. So this is a very interesting detail that this date, November 2nd, from 1917, leads us to the beginning of the flood. And in 2021, November 2nd is the end of the flood. Very interesting detail. The Balfour Declaration from November 2nd, 1917. The next piece of information is that in 1955, David Ben-Gurion forms Israeli government. He was the first prime minister of Israel, but this happens to be the forming of the seventh government. This was the seventh government of Israel. Let's take a look at the history of this and understand. Okay, here is a site. Okay, here is a site that shows us, and I'll leave this link for you guys, and you can see this. All the governments of Israel. We see that if we go back to a provisional government that was formed on May 14th, okay, 1948. This was the provisional government. Then we had all of these different separate governments that were formed and that brought them through the process as Israel was being reborn and formed as a nation. And the seventh government then of Israel was formed on November 2nd. First day in office was November 3rd, 1955. Okay? So this is an interesting detail that also plays into Israel's history in a very interesting way. November 2nd, 1955. Now there's one more piece of information that's going to be very unbelievable, really. Okay, guys, look at this. What are we watching over the last, since September 11th, when all of the earthquakes began on La Palma? Everything, the whole world has been about volcano, 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 La Palma, La Palma, La Palma. Okay. Well, look at this. On the same day that Israel's seventh government was formed, on November 2nd, 1955, an operation began in Israel called Operation Volcano. This was a large-scale Israel Defense Forces military operation carried out on the night of November 2nd and 3rd, 1955, against Egyptian military positions in and around Nitzana Auja vicinity. The operation was successful and resulted in the permanent expulsion of Egyptian forces from the demilitarized zone. 81 Egyptian soldiers were killed and 55 others were taken prisoner. There were 5 Israeli fatalities. So they named this Operation Volcano. Okay. Isn't that interesting? November 2nd is the 306th day of the year, and there are 59 days remaining until the end of the year. 306 in Strong's is to put off, and 59 is to buy in the marketplace. No buying or selling without it. This is the word that is used in Revelation when it says that no man might buy or sell without the mark of the beast. And last but not least, today is All Souls Day. All Souls Day, also known as the commemoration of all of the faithful departed, and the Day of the Dead, is a day of prayer and remembrance for the faithful departed, which is observed by Roman Catholics and other Christian denominations annually on November 2nd. And the dead in Christ shall rise first. So I just wanted to share this piece of information with you, connecting us to the end of the flood, November 2nd, 2021, 27th of Chesvan. Have a wonderful day. This is Steve Fletcher with a trumpet for my people, the sign of his coming revealed.